Yo, what up? How you doing? This is Oktane. These are minutes. Episode 3. In the omnibus of the latest album drop, Slight Detour, which came out a couple of days ago as of this recording. As I said in the previous episode, we covered Slight Detour. We covered lost case studies, excuse me. And we're just going to continue along and cover Hustler's Poetry. Hustler's Poetry. Produced by Mont Placebo, down there from South Florida, West Palm Beach, Miami-Dade, Broward County area. Excellent producer. Utilized the EPS 16 Plus, a machine notably used by luminaries such as Evidence, The Alchemist. I think Prodigy from Mobb Deep used it. LP respectively from Company Flow, Run the Jewels, and he's also the CEO of, or was the CEO of Def Jux Recordings, by way of Raucous Records. That's another podcast. Flipped a sample that was used on a famous record, flipped by a world famous group. And if you heard the sample, if you bought the album, heard the sample, or you streamed the album, you would know the sample. Anyway, so the song Hustler's Poetry just broke down what goes on when you're out here day to day trying to get yours, trying to make a name for yourself, legal or illegally. A lot of people are hustlers in the right sense of the word, meaning that they make something out of nothing. You have a lot of phony hustlers. They are what you call opportunists, who decide that they want to take things that are opened up to them and partake in the festivities of getting money. Whereas a true hustler makes opportunities for themselves where there are none. There are no doors to be opened. There are no windows. It is only a wall. So, there's a wall, but there's trees. They build a ladder, crawl over that wall. If there's a glass ceiling, they'll find a hard object to shatter that ceiling, to climb above and to explore what's on the other side of that surface. And that's what that's about. Also, the poetry of a hustler is, in the sense of the word, of where, or in the terms of hip hop down south, you have a lot of you have the mass epidemic of poverty, of hatred, self-hatred, not in the lights of you look at your skin and you say, I don't like who I am, but it's the self-hatred, meaning I hate who I am because of this situation given to me. So I'm gonna take the initiative and break free of that said situation. And when you do that, what becomes of that? How does that operate? That's the thing that I feel that it's always been explored. It's not nothing new and inventive or innovative or anything like that. This is an open source subject matter. It's a subject matter that has been covered. It is a age-old tale that a man puts himself in trouble to make some money. But in reality, a hustler who deals and does his business within the streets make very little money. Sometimes I tell you, sometimes they say, well, you're better off working a regular 9 to 5. The penitentiary chances are not there. You're just there. You make your money. You're on a clock. But then some people don't want to be on a clock. They don't. They feel like they are obligated to something that is excuse me, sneezing, man. Anyway, they feel like they're obligated to this space of a monster that wants to take your life away, take the grains of sand away. But really, I mean, prison does the same thing. Poverty does the same thing. Death is eternal. It takes everything. It is beyond time and space. It takes your existence. And that's what a hustler's poetry is. It's the account of everything that you have to take in every time you stand on that corner, every time you walk on that sidewalk. Your blood could be left there. Your life could be left there. Your essence could be evaporated there. And it's one of those things to where you have some choices to make. And let me see, I've got some passages I could read from it. So, like, think about this. Like, I have the hook that says hustlers poetry. Every day's a university, universally recognized. Every day could be do or die, so take a life. You know what I'm saying? So that means that every day you out there, you learning, right? You learning, you striving, and you earning. But every day's a lesson, right? You either go see somebody get got in some type of way, you go see somebody lose it all in some type of way. I mean, even if it's not jail or death, you see cats that lose it, meaning you see people who already lost every day. That's the thing, you gonna learn from it. And do you really learn from it? You see people lose it all the time. You learn to take advantage sometimes of the misfortune of others, the downfall of others. Going back to first verse of the song, I talk about you can't trust your day ones. What makes you think you're gonna trust a stranger? Because sometimes that same stranger could be someone that you don't aspire to be. Those may be the people that hurt you the fastest, because they're the most desperate. They are the most destitute, the most desolate, the most to have, the ones who have the most to gain and the least to lose. And it's easy to lose when you're in debt to something. And I'm not talking about zero. Zero means that you were able to leave with just your life and your peace of mind, right? That's zero in the streets, and how I see it. That's, you got to leave with nothing. Nothing gained, nothing lost, right? You left even. You left with a peace of mind. You left with your faculties intact. That's if you're lucky. Because even if you win at this, did you really win? You can only be successful so many times until it's time to give it up, or it's time to pay it all back. And I think that everybody within that world tends to they play that game. It's always like, it's not like the movies, but it is like the movies. And I'll explain to where you'll say, oh, well, this one last time. Or even this, like, in reality, it's not the one last time they get you. They've been wanting to get you. They knew what you were doing the whole time. They were just waiting for you to get yourself so deep in the water, so deep in the debt of society's social ills, that when it was time for them to pull the plug on you, it was just insurmountable. Because they could have pulled the plug early on you and got you, but would it have been enough to put you away forever, to bury you alive? Probably not. So they wait and they wait and they wait until you are just sitting on the biggest pile of shit, for them to reap what you sowed. And you reaping what you sowed. You make the choice, and that's what I'm saying. It is the universal law of attraction. You've done so much negative, the negative will eventually fall on you. And sometimes the law will come to you and find out what you were doing and find out who you were, because they knew who you were the whole time. They just wanted to take. They just wanted the bigger take, because they want to leave absolutely no doubt in their mind that you will be put away for a significant amount of time with no way to really truly you can redeem yourself already in your mind the first time you do something evil to somebody and be like, I didn't mean to do that, but now I live with this slight feeling of remorse. Some people don't have a conscience. There's some people who do feel bad for everything they do because they feel like there's no way out. And that's cool. You know, I understand. I mean, there are choices to be made, but perspective is everything, right? And that's what that song's about. It's about you feeling that you didn't have a way out. You always did, but it was more so about how you timed everything. What were you willing to do? Were you willing to like pull that plug out when it was time? You got to time everything. Like, are they watching you enough? You pull the plug and it's like, well, we can get him now, and if he beats the case, we may not ever have a chance to get him, but he may have opportunities to do more evil, because shit's addictive. It is an addictive world. It is very attractive and alluring. Money comes fast, and that's a drug. It's a dopamine hit. It's not so much the chemical dependency, but the dependency of instant gratification, instant satisfaction. And that's what that song's about. It's about the battle between instant satisfaction and the guillotine that hangs over your head. How many times are you gonna hit that dopamine button until, you know, before that big ass blade comes down, chops your neck right off, head rolling, off with his head, and now they find the next victim. And you're not just a victim, and I'm not even saying the choice is yours, because there's a lot of things in place that decide your fate, right? Or not even decide your fate, but it kind of shows you the illusion of what your fate is. You could choose not to believe that illusion, just like people telling you you can't do this and can't do that. You can also choose to be like, this isn't my reality. This is not the reality for me. So I'm going to do what it takes to get away from this reality. But unfortunately, there are, I wouldn't say infinite, but there are infinite possibilities amongst combinations of people, near infinite, but there are insurmountable odds that are against you. And that song's about that. The dopamine hit versus the odds versus that sword of Damocles that's ready to chop you in half and feed you to the Leviathan, which is our justice system, or feed you back into the same beast which you came from, because America eats her young. But quick shout out to the Saba Sun family, and without further ado, here is Hustler's Poetry. Enjoy. The grind gets longer, the tools is cheaper, quality is weaker. Now we move the house around, move to the action sounds. Wound too tight, stress here and is overbearing. Get off too light, the ride of a hustler. Watch who strike, could be your best friend. Some cat on the bike, motherfuckers ain't for life. Sticks and pipes, veins full of venom. They think they be winning, check their track record. They was weak way back then, so just know straight niggas try to be friends. Can't even trust your day ones in the life you in. What makes you think that trade picks is trying to win, so let it sink in. Thin the herd on my word, never on a purge, but inside a world of hurt, a world of scum which I lurk. Life guide, doing dirt. Life guides of doing dirt. The life guides of doing dirt. Hustlers poetry. Every day's university. Universally recognized. Get away, it's do or die. So take a life. Hustlers poetry. Every day's university. Universally recognized. Get away and be do or die. So take a life. Danger, danger out your door. Sundown means war. All this for the fortune. Addictive extortion. Small portions. Missions and warship. Hyundais and Kias. Random old beaters. Ready to put a nigga with figures into the ether. Turn down your speakers, modes of attack. So I stay behind cars, never relax. True facts, you shouldn't either. No one's a true believer till the fear of God. Dummies assume you a fraud, and they pay for it, making the street tells historic be on some gory shit. High velocity into a fine mist. Understand the gist, flick of the wrist so you can look at the risk. Problems exist forever in the trap. Hitting licks in this bitch. Hitting licks in this bitch. Hitting licks in this bitch. Hitting licks in this, yeah. Hustlers poetry. Everyday university. Universally recognized. Get away and be do or die. So take a life. Hustlers poetry. Every day is university. Universally recognized. Get away and be do or die. So take a life.